Fuck! Sorry. I'm nervous.
No, why are you nervous?
Fuck! Welcome back to The Will of the Hunted. This week's guest is a talented actor, model, musician, director, and writer. She is the frontwoman of the New England-based alternative rock band Vices Inc. and has also starred in several feature films. She is also my roommate. Let Mike and I borrow most of this equipment to even start this podcast in the first place, and is one of the coolest people I know. Please welcome my friend, Eleanor. This podcast is for support and commentary only, not professional advice. I am not a licensed clinician. This podcast might be triggering to some listeners as we have honest discussions about trauma, but we have lighter conversations about mental health and identity as well. And if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. And remember, you are not alone.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having... Wait.
No. Yes, thank you for coming to my house.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.
You traveled so far to be here. Can you talk about how many flights of stairs you had to go down?
Oh my gosh. It was a harrowing 2 flights of stairs to get here today, but we made it.
I'm so glad. Thank you for making time in your busy schedule to come downstairs.
Anytime. Really, anytime.
So, my first question, because since I know you so well, how would you describe yourself in your own words?
That is, I feel like that's a tough question. It's like deceptively tough. Like, it's like, who are you? But like,
who are you?
Who are you and what do you want? I feel like I most often describe myself as like an artist. I'm a musician, an actor. Like, I would put those things first, I think. But really above everything else, I would say I'm a collaborator.
Yeah.
I really love like working with people and like doing like creative projects with people is like my favorite thing. So, yeah.
Awesome. On your website, you mentioned that you started your career in theater at the mature age of 5 years old as the fairy godmother's assistant in the production of Cinderella. Was that the moment you realized you wanted to be a performer?
No. Also, thank you so much for checking out my website. That's amazing.
Research.
Research. We love a research queen.
Stalking.
I feel like I really decided that I wanted to be an actor when I was like 10. I remember like, because everyone asks you like, what do you want to be when you grow up, when you're like a kid? And I was like, I don't know, like maybe a veterinarian, like, but I don't know, like every other day I was like, well, that seems cool. Like I really wanted to be a meteorologist for a while.
Whoa.
And I was like, I don't know, everything interests me. Like, how do I pick just one thing? And then it came to me one day. I like was watching TV or like a movie or something, and I was like 10 years old, and I was like, actors can be all of the things, like, because they just like their job is to act like something or someone. So I'm like, I want to do that. Like that seems like the most fun career. And I told my mom that night, and she was like, no.
Wow.
I was like, my dream job is to be an actor. She's like, no, they live horrible lives. I was like,
really? Thanks.
Yeah, like, I get where she's coming from, but like, I don't know.
Is she supportive today?
She's...
I clearly know so much about you.
So we didn't have cable when I was growing up, so we always would watch like shows that my parents really liked when they were younger and alive. So sorry. So I grew up watching a lot of like older shows. A few of them were like definitely in the category of like did not age well, but like we would watch like a ton of like Gilligan's Island.
Oh, cool.
Friends, The Brady Bunch, and like I don't know, I feel like the ones that inspired me the most were like Friends and like I don't know, Gilligan's Island. I was like they have like a character as a movie star, and like she's not like all the characters are kind of like stereotypical of like whatever they are, so it's not like the most like flattering portrayal of like a movie star, but I was always like, oh my god, she's so glamorous, like that's how I want to be.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, we made it. Peak of glamour.
And you've gone on to like star in several movies.
Yeah.
And you have an acting degree.
I do. Oh my god, the degree. I loved studying theater. Like,
yeah.
That was like, I have no regrets in doing that. I think partially because I like did it through UNH and it was like a liberal arts degree.
Yeah.
But it's so funny how little having a degree comes up in my like everyday life. So anytime someone's like, oh, and you have a degree in acting, I'm like, I do.
Yeah.
I have had like a lot of really amazing opportunities, especially since college, doing the World of Rooks movies with my friend Robert Maynard, doing a few projects that are upcoming with Off-Screen Studios.
Yeah.
It's been really cool, especially like going into the film world more so, especially since my degree was more like stage focused.
Yeah.
It's been really awesome.
Yeah. Do you prefer, or like, do you find yourself more drawn to like comedic, like sitcom-ish roles, or do you like the drama, like Rooks?
So I feel like I would love to play a comedic role. I do not get cast in comedic roles. Like, I think I'm funny sometimes, but I feel like I always get typecast as like very serious, or like bitchy, like in a good way. Work queen. But yeah, I think it would be so much fun to play a comedic role, although I feel like I would be cast in like someone who is not intentionally funny. Like I love the show Arrested Development. Do you know that show?
Yeah.
So that I feel like has a lot of great examples of like high status clowns where there are a lot of characters who like think that they're like posh and like very high status, but then they're like clowns in reality. So I feel like I would probably be cast as more of like a Lucille than like Tobias, who's like a low status. Like he kind of knows he's low status and he's like bumbling.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's really cool. I'm like immediately thinking of oh god, what's her name in Mean Girls? She's the one who can like tell the weather.
Oh my gosh. What is her name? Shoot. There's a 60% chance that it's already raining. Gretchen. No, Gretchen's the other one.
Gretchen Wieners.
No, she has all the secrets.
Hey Google, who plays the woman who says she can like sense the rain with her nipples or something in Mean Girls? Amanda Seyfried as Karen Smith. Karen Smith. Like she's
yes.
so fucking dead ass, like dead
Yes.
serious with her role, but it's so funny.
Yes, I love that.
That's the energy.
Yeah,
I'm getting.
yeah.
What is your favorite opportunity or role that you've had so far in your career?
Oh my gosh. I feel like the role of Nyssa, which is the one that I've played in the Rooks movies as Rooks and Black Castles. I feel like Nyssa has been my favorite role, but specifically in Black Castles. I felt like in that film I was able to kind of play a little bit more, whereas the first film, my character was like more so there to like provide context for the story. So I had a lot of like long monologues that were like, and this is why this is happening. And then like the other characters would be like, oh, so what about this? And then I would explain. And like, I think that was all really important in like building the lore, but Black Castles happened.
You're kicking ass.
Thank you so much. Doing the Lord's work.
You're slaying down. House down boots.
I feel like with Black Castles, it was like already the lore is established. So you can just be like, all right, this is the character and like this is the situation and like how does this character respond to the situation? Just a lot of fun.
I love your role in that movie. Like that made me such a huge fan of you.
Oh my gosh.
I remember yes, of course. I remember watching a draft of like the trailer, I think, with you and like because Mike, my boyfriend, I was almost said our boyfriend. He's in it too, and I think you were doing some ADR as well. And then Rob showed us like a draft of the trailer, and there was like this one clip of you like crying real tears, and the whole room was silent watching us like work. And like we became friends over that moment.
I love it so much. Work. I love when it was like posted. I think you posted the screenshot of that one moment, and you were like, "Slay!" I love it.
Is Brooks the first role that you've done with like stunt choreography and like actually like acting? Is your first like time what do you call it? Action. You're acting and like all of the stunt scenes and the fight scenes in Black Castles especially was so cool, and you and like your boyfriend Justin, who also co-stars in it, so cool to see you guys act together and like fight together on screen. Really, really cool. Like,
yeah, thank you.
I'm like, oh my god, I know these people.
It's been super helpful having Justin like be part of the like projects that we're doing too.
Yeah.
Especially with his like martial arts background, he can really help me like break down choreography and like do it safely also, in addition to our lovely stunt coordinators. Yes. It's always
Mike's watching.
Yes, we need to get in frame so we can see you blush.
Lean forward. And then one of the things I've seen you do since Black Castles, you invited me to do a stunt training workshop down, I think with off screen, like down in Mass at one point, and like I watched you get harnessed and like fly up into the sky like you were a plastic bag drifting through the wind ready to start again. You know?
Yes, very that.
And I think you said your body was like destroyed after that.
It was.
We're gonna put that clip in.
As you can see here. No, I mean, we did a lot of really cool stuff with like the harness training. It was definitely like a learning curve, making sure it was like as painless as possible. But like we had like all of the harnesses that they like recommend, but they just like there's no way to make that comfortable. I feel like
when people are like tugging on a rope and you're just like you know.
Yeah, like The Exorcism.
Yeah, just like floating up.
Yeah. It was fun though.
Ascended queen.
Ascended. It's cool too because I have always been like a little bit afraid of like risk taking. So doing some of the stunt stuff is like definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I'm always so glad that I like try it. So the first time they were like, we're gonna put you in this harness and like do this hit, like fake hit, but then you're gonna get like propelled backwards. I was really, really nervous because I was like, I don't know exactly how this is gonna go.
Yeah. But
it came out so cool, and I'm like, now I can say that I did that. It's very cool.
Yeah. Producer Alice, take VO now. Thank you. Do you mind talking a little bit about like the entertainment industry and being a woman, like pursuing roles and like networking? How has that been, and have you encountered any obstacles?
Yeah, I think networking is like one of the most important things you can do in the entertainment industry, as I'm sure you know. You definitely always want to be like building bridges, not burning them. But it's also like it can be really tricky as a woman. It can be dangerous, so you want to make sure you're like networking with the right people, not just people who are like, I have this opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Like you want to make sure it's all good, you have like safety in place, you're like with someone you know and trust, all of that. And then also like, especially in the music scene, it's so male dominated locally. Like every show we go to, it's like, you know, not all the time, but most of the time it's like men running the front of house, they're running sound, they're running the lights, all the other bands have male members, like it's like very, very male dominated.
Yeah.
So something that like my band tries to do is like if we're booking shows, we'll ask bands that have like more female members, just to like get better representation too. But it can be like kind of intimidating, like walking into a space and like there's just like all of these men, and like most of the time they're very nice, but a lot of the time they're like, I don't know how to talk to you because you're different. So it can be hard to like break that like barrier down, and then also do it in a safe way where it's like, I'm not trying to hit on you, I'm just trying to like make a connection, like professionally.
And they're like, you've got what it takes, baby girl, I'll make your dreams come true, you'll go all the way. Like, haven't you had people, like, I think you've told me before, where you have like fake agents come up to you and be like,
yeah,
we're gonna make you a star.
Yeah, there was an odd thing that happened after the Rooks premiere where someone approached me and they were like, you have it. Like, you're the next thing. Like, I'm gonna get your, like, I don't know. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
You're like, sure.
Yeah.
Next.
I think I was like, I have a website if you want to fill out the contact form on there. Because that's like pretty easy to filter
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Plugs.
Stream my reels. Or wait, you can't stream. Can you stream reels? Wait, no,
right?
Like acting reels?
Oh, yeah. I need to update my acting reel. Like, hot tea. So it's from 2019.
What advice would you have for girls who are going into like venues and different spaces with a lot of like men that they don't know? Like, what would you suggest for like physical safety and awareness?
Sure. I actually have this story that I really want to tell you. Buckle in. It's like it comes from actually almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it ties into your question really well, but I'll get to it at the end.
Okay.
So just like, bear with me through the journey, but it'll be
I'm
relevant,
ready.
I promise. So, in college, I went on this trip, and it was like a choir competition trip.
Yeah.
So, over the summer, our like UNH choir was able to go do like this tour of Poland, basically.
Wow.
It's a super cool opportunity. So I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that. So I know a bunch of the people on the trip. They're from like the choir, so like it's like a pretty tight knit group. But I definitely had like 3 people I was really, really close with, and then like everyone else I was like friendly with, but not like super good friends with.
Yeah.
So there was one night we were in Krakow, and we went out to a bar, like at least 10 of us, but I think like kind of the whole group went out to this bar. So we were like kind of checking out the nightlife as we were going.
Yeah.
And we got to this bar, and like everyone's kind of like hanging out with each other, but one girl from our group like splits off, and she goes and like is talking to this guy. And I was kind of like, oh hey, like I want to call her Kay. It's not her name, but just for the sake of the story.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, Kay's like talking to that guy over there, and everyone's like, oh yeah, like she looks like she's having fun. And I was like kind of keeping an eye out, but didn't want to be like super intrusive, especially since like I wasn't super close with her. But then like an hour goes by, and everyone in the group is like, okay, we're gonna go back to the hostel. And I was like, well, what about Kay? And they were kind of all like, oh, she'll figure it out, like she'll find her way home. And I was like, I don't really want to like leave her here. And like, no judgment towards like my friends who were like, we're gonna like dip. I don't think that they really thought that it was like a serious situation, but I was already like, this is like, some red flags are going up. And so I like went out with my friends to like their cabs, and I was like, no, I really don't, like I don't feel right like leaving her.
Yeah.
So I went back into the bar. So at that point it's just me and Kay in the bar, and then like the guy she's talking with, and then these 2 other guys that he was friends with. And so I go back in, I'm like, oh, like they all left, like do you want to go? And she's like really, really drunk, and she was like, no, like I want to stay here with him. And like they're like making out on and off, and I'm like, okay, cool, like I'll just wait here with you. So I'm like at the table, and like his friends are like talking to me, and I'm like making small talk, but I'm kind of like, I just want to like go. And about like an hour goes by, I like try again, like, oh hey, like, do you want to go? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, I really, really, really can't leave you here now. Like, it's getting later. I know you're super drunk. I don't know like anything about these guys, whatever. And one of the guys who was like the cuter of the other two was like, oh, do you want to like dance? And like this bar like had dancing, and I was like, okay, like I'm not doing anything anyway except watch my friend make out with this guy, so
Yeah.
like why not? So we get up and we're like dancing. And it's fine. Like it wasn't like he wasn't like being super like grabby or anything, so I was like, okay, this feels like safe enough. And then I hear his friends like say something in Polish at the table, and he like turns his head and like says something back to them, and they laugh. And I was like, I don't know what they're saying, but like it's probably like something related to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And before I can ask like, oh, what did you say? He turns back and like, mild trigger warning, he like shoved his tongue in my mouth. So I'm like, okay, I really am not loving this whole situation, but I don't want to make a scene. And I feel like that's such a common thing for like anyone who's in that kind of situation. Like, you don't want to make a big scene. But I was like, all right. So I'm like kind of frozen, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let this happen. So he takes his tongue out of my mouth so graciously, and I'm like, let's go back over to the table. And he's like, okay. So we go back to the table, and now he's like kind of putting his arm around me, and I'm like, okay, I really want to leave. So I like more forcefully to Kay, I'm like, hey, we should go. And she's like, okay, fine. And I'm like, great. So we go out of the bar, and the guys like follow us out. And I was like, I hate this, but like we're just gonna go right to the road. I'm gonna like either call a cab or like, oh, the other great part about this, my phone died. So I was like, I want to like get an Uber if we like can't get a cab or whatever. Phone's dead. So at this point too, I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what time it is. I know it's like past 11 at like somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So we go out to the road, and where I had seen all of these cabs that like all of our group had gotten into like only a couple hours before is completely like vacant. Like there's no one. There's no cars anywhere. And I was like, what is happening? Like I thought we'd just come out here and I'd like flag down a cab because there were so many. Like what happened? And the guys are like, oh, they stopped coming after a certain time. Like they stopped like patrolling this part. So we can help you get home. And I'm like, I don't know really what our options are here because my phone's dead. Kay's phone is dying. Like it's like on its like last legs. There's no cabs. I don't really know where we are in relation to our hostel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this situation is already going from bad to worse. But these guys are like, we'll take the bus. And I was like, okay. Like, the bus is public. I guess we'll go take the bus.
Yeah.
So they're like, we'll walk you to the bus stop. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we are walking through the city, like, making small talk. Kay's making out with her guy. Just as we're walking. And we finally get to this area, and, like, there's no indication that this is a bus stop. So at this point, I'm, like, really, like, panicking. So I'm like, something horrible is gonna happen. Like, but we're still in the city. Like, there's, like lights. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? So we get to this, like, bus stop, and we're standing there waiting, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm, like, a little worried, or a lot worried, but trying not to, like, show that too much. And then I see this car pass by, and I, like, run out to the road and trying to, like, flag them down, because I'm like, maybe it's a cab. It was a police officer. So the police officer, like, turns around, and she, like, gets out of her car, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to talk to this police officer, and I'm going to be able to say, like, we need help, if she speaks English, hopefully. She did not speak English, and she was also really, really mad that I had run into the road. So she's like screaming at me. And then the guy who had like danced with me like starts talking to her, and like it was really weird because it kind of seemed like he was being like condescending to her, but like it worked. And then she ended up just like leaving, and I was like crying at this point. And he comes back and he's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, do what? Trying to be saved from this horrible situation? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you can't just run out into the middle of the road. Like, that's not, yeah. I was like, are you kidding? And he's like, yeah, she was gonna arrest you. And I'm like, good. Like, I don't know why she, like, just get me out of here. I don't know. And he like tried to hug me, and I went, no. And I was like, I do not touch me right now. Like, I don't want to be touched. And he kind of like backed up and was like, I'm gonna go home. And he left. So I'm like, okay, now it's 2 guys and then me and Kay. So it's a little more like manageable, but still not great. The bus ends up coming, surprisingly, because again, like did not look like it was a bus stop. But I'm like, okay, we're on a bus. This is promising. We're sitting on the bus. Again, like they're making out. This other guy is like trying to talk to me now, and he's like, what kind of bands do you like? I like Queen. And I'm like,
yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen. Except no Queen, because oh my god. So this bus ride takes fucking like 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, as long as it gets us back to our hostel, like I don't really care. We get off the bus. The guy that was with Kay was like, oh, this is it. This is your stop. And I was like, okay, great. And the bus windows were like kind of like dark, so you couldn't really see a lot. And it was like obviously nighttime, so like I couldn't really like see where we were or whatever. So he's like, this is our stop. So I'm like, okay. So we get off the bus, and immediately my heart just like sinks because we are not in the city anymore. There's like a couple small buildings to one side of us, and then on the other side it's like this dark flat area, and it looked like just like a field. And I'm like, okay, this is a really, really bad situation. And the guy with Kay takes her by the hand and goes, your hostel's this way, and starts walking towards the field with like no light. And the other guy's like with them. And I just like, again, froze for a couple seconds. And then I lost it. And I like screamed at them. I ran up, I grabbed Kay by the hand. I like ripped her away from the guy. I was like, we are not following you into an open fucking field. Like, that is not where our hostel is. Like, do you think we're stupid? And they were just kind of like surprised, I think, that I was like openly screaming at them. But then they like they took a moment. I think I said something too, like, thank you so much for all of your help, but like we're good, we're gonna get home from here.
Yeah.
So they like stop, and then they start to walk away. They kind of like psh, and like start to walk away. And as they're walking away back towards like the buildings, by the way, not into the middle of the abyss of like nothing, mm-hmm. They're like, good luck getting home. And so I just like stood there with Kay, like, and waited until they were out of view. And then I was like, okay, now we need to figure out, like, now we're safe from them. We just need to figure out how to get back to the hostel.
Yeah.
And the next like hour was like her crying. Again, she's like still really drunk. She's like, you think I'm dumb? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna go off by myself. Like, you don't want to be with me anyway. I was like, no, I don't even care. I'm like, I don't care if you're mad at me. I don't care if you never talk to me again. Like, we are staying together.
Yeah.
Because we have to. We go to another, like the little bus stop area. Because again, we got dropped off there. So I'm like, okay, there has to be like a bus stop around. We get to the little like bus stop, like bench. And I'm looking at like the map and everything. I'm like, this is great, except I don't speak Polish. So So we're like, everything that, I don't know, it was frustrating. Like every time we were like, well, we have like a clue of like where we're supposed to go. It's like, we can't do anything with this. Eventually, we see a cab. And again, I like run straight into the road and like she comes with me and we're like, stop. And he does stop. And then I run and like, I run and grab like the door to the back and I open it and I'm like, do you speak English? And he's like, no. And I just like yell the name of the hostel, which I'm sure was like terrifying for him. Like it's like 3 a.m. and like someone just like rips open the door and is like, ah. But he took us. He was like, oh yeah, I know that. Like he like repeated the name of the hostel in like a knowing tone. Mm-hmm. So he took us there, and we made it. And it was like 4 a.m. We made it back. The epilogue of this story, which is kind of like a like really kind of moment, but we both were like kind of wound up from this whole experience. So we were like, okay, we're not gonna go straight to bed. We're gonna like charge our phones in like the hallway. I'm like, my phone comes back to life. I'm texting people from home because I'm like, this crazy thing just happened. Like, I need to talk about it. She makes a phone call. Who do you think she called?
Ghostbusters! Sorry, I don't know. The guy.
No, she called her boyfriend. So, so I'm sitting there like, I think something really bad almost just happened, all because she wanted to cheat on her boyfriend. So she's like crying into the phone, whatever.
Oh.
I ended up going to bed, but I was really mad because I also had like just been cheated on recently, like before that. So I was like, just like another like punch to the gut.
I should have left you in the field, bitch.
Never. Well, so my.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
But the point of my story, too, is like, you know, even if you're like mad at who you're with or like whatever, like definitely look out for other people.
Yeah.
And also like kind of like trust your gut, and if you're thinking like I should make a scene right now, or like I don't know, if you're stopping yourself from doing something because you're afraid of making a scene, like just make a scene. Like always. Like just fucking do it, because the worst thing that's gonna happen is people are gonna be like, oh, that was weird. Like I don't know, if you like overreact, like people might be like, oh, that was a weird reaction, but if you're reacting appropriately, then it could save your life. I really appreciate the opportunity to like tell that story too, because after that happened, everyone from my trip like woke up super early the next day, so we had to like go perform, and they were like, oh, did you hear like Kay is not gonna perform today? And I was like, oh, why? Like, why? And they were like, oh, she just like got too drunk last night. And I was like, well, actually, we had this horrible experience, and I'm like trying to tell people, and they're like, oh, that's crazy. And I was like, I feel like we almost died. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like a tame story in that nothing horrible happened, but it's a terrifying story in that, like, who knows what could have happened. Like, if we went out into that field, like, what was going to happen?
Yeah. So
the fact that, like, then I'm trying to tell people who I'm, like, close with, and they're, like, not, they're not, like, reacting in the way that I would expect someone to react is, like, really hard. So also, like, be there for your friends, and if they're like, hey, I had this traumatic experience, even if you're like, oh, I don't perceive that as a traumatic experience, it's not your fucking trauma. So just be the friend that your friend needs. But yeah,
even if nothing bad like happens, it's still like your safety is threatened. You are isolated by these people. Like classic cops, like you ask for help and they're like,
I'm just gonna arrest you, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So like, and then you're in a foreign country where you don't like speak the language. Like that's terrifying to be like separated, and you were like just trying to like look out for your friend, and then like 3 guys just like. So I'm so sorry that happened, but I'm glad you're okay, and I think that's like a really important or like a really good example of like, you know, thank God. I'm so, like, honestly, like, work for making a scene, because, like, that's something I wouldn't be, like, able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that that's, like, super important, because, like, I feel like when we freeze up and, like, we're afraid of, like, be someone intimidating us even more.
Yeah.
It's like that, we kind of give that power to them, and, like, we kind of make it worse almost by, like, not, you know, or, like, I don't know. So I'm like, it's really cool that you stood up for you and your friend. I'm really, like, that makes me really happy.
Thank you. I think it's hard, like, I know a lot of people who, and including myself, like, who in other situations have been like, I froze up and I feel like I should have done this, but, like, I feel like it's also important to, like, give yourself grace and know that that's just your nervous system trying to protect you. And, like, your nervous system takes over your, like, logical brain and goes, this is how I'm going to survive. Yeah. So sometimes, like, that is the right decision too. But I think just trusting your body, and if you're feeling like, I want to, like, just scream at this stranger and tell him to, like, give me space, do that. Don't let your logical brain be like, no, hang on. There are social norms. No. Yeah. We don't need her. We need survival.
Yeah, there is no shame in safety.
Period.
8. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you, like, it, like, someone could, like, be mad at you for, like, causing a scene, but it's like, hey, look who is still alive.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Like, you cheated on your boyfriend. Congratulations, but you're alive.
Yeah, you're alive. And you know what? I'm happy that you're alive to cheat on your boyfriend some more, even though I don't support that specific thing that you're doing.
You're like, I'd rather have you be alive than doing that.
Yes. 100% of the time, yes.
Yeah. Also, like, girls sticking together, that's, like, a really great story of, like, you could have just been, like, good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you were like, I'm going to separate myself from the group to make sure that she's okay. And then you're also, like, getting targeted by these, like, group of guys. Like, that is terrifying. I'm so sorry that happened.
Thank you.
So, and thank you for being willing to share that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you again for letting me share that, because it feels good to just talk about it, especially, like, with it being, like, pretty much 10 years ago that happened. It's like, whew. Just kind of get, like, a little closure on that.
I'm so glad. Like, that's, like, my goal for this kind of platform, is to be able to, like, make space for, like, people to tell these stories, because, like, where the fuck else? Like, everyone else is gonna be like, I don't want to hear it, or, like, this isn't the right time. Mm-hmm. Like, when is the good time to, like, have these conversations?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I feel like it's something that should be, like, more, like, talked about. Like, I don't know, these kinds of things weigh on people all the time. Like, I don't know, it should be a common thing to be like, hey, I would love to share this story with you. Like, are you in a space that you are able to hear it?
Yeah.
And then just, like, airing some of this out and, like, processing it, instead of just being like, oh, there's no good time to tell this story. Just gonna tuck it away.
Exactly. And, like, but now that more people know about that, they'll have that hopefully in the back of their mind if they're in situations that, like, kind of start smelling a little similar.
Yeah.
You know, and then they could be like, oh, this is how she got out. Yes. So that's also, I, like, just want this, I'm glad that this can be a resource for other people, especially.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But the like, Boy Who Cried Wolf kind of energy, or like, when it's giving Boy Who Cried Wolf, where you're like, hey, this happened, and people are like, wow. It's like, it's so fucking dehumanizing. Yeah. And, like, I relate to you, I empathize with you so incredibly much about that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I don't know, I'm trusting you, I'm trying to share this with you, and you're just like, oh, that's nice. Like, that's not a proportionate response. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, when you are traumatized like that, and you start acting different, then people are usually, like, isolating themselves from you and kind of being like, oh, I don't know what's going on there. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's when you need the most help, and you need people listening to you, and, like, you don't, and especially because you don't want it to happen to other people. So, like, yeah. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that story.
Thank you.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Okay. Love you, girl.
Love you. Oh, no.
what projects do you have on the horizon that we should look forward to?
Yeah, what do I have? I have a short film coming out in the spring, I believe, in March, called Sisterhood. That's through Offscreen Studios. There should be a final sequel in the Rooks trilogy that we're starting production on very lightly. I have to finish reading the script. He sent me the rest of the script, which I read the first half and I was like, I'm excited. So, yeah. And then I'm also going to Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah. For like 10 days in December, so soon. And that's also through like Offscreen Studios.
Wow.
Through our like nonprofit branch, we're doing some like documentaries while we're down there.
Whoa.
So I'm super excited because I'm producing one, and it's about this stable in Puerto Rico where they rehabilitate racehorses.
Whoa.
And yeah, I'm super looking forward to like interviewing her and like seeing their whole setup and meeting all the horses.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Please keep me posted.
I will.
And do you have any shows coming up for the band?
Yes, we have one in Rochester, New Hampshire on the 28th. It's the Fundrager. Yeah, I'm actually missing my high school reunion to do that show, so
yeah,
please come. It's I think $10 at the Rochester Opera House, and then we have a show on the 29th in Nashua.
Nice.
And then a few more shows in December, but
that's so exciting.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on. And do you know if the washer's open? If I could do some laundry?
Girl, it's all yours.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Just remember that you are not alone. Watch out for your friends, and if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
That was amazing.
Delusions of grandeur and progress bring us to our knees.
You are not alone. And if you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources.